Imagine standing at a crossroads, unsure which path to take. Every choice you make has a ripple effect, but some decisions have the power to transform your life entirely. These aren't just everyday choices like what to eat for breakfast or which route to drive. These are the decisions that challenge your comfort zone, test your courage, and define your purpose. One life-changing decision can make all the difference, and it often starts with asking yourself a simple question. Am I willing to take the step that aligns with who I truly want to become? The truth is, we often underestimate the impact of a single choice. Many of us wait for perfect conditions or the ideal moment to act, but life rarely offers a perfect moment. Change begins with a deliberate decision, no matter how small it may seem at first. It could be choosing to leave a job that limits your growth, committing to a new skill that excites you, or deciding to nurture a relationship that elevates your spirit. These choices are the turning points. They challenge your habits, your mindset, and even your identity. And while the immediate consequences may feel uncertain, the long-term impact can be monumental. Consider this. People who achieve extraordinary results are not necessarily those with more talent or better resources. They are the ones who made the tough decision to take a stand for their future. They embraced the discomfort of change because they understood that growth cannot exist in stagnation. Every step taken toward clarity, courage, and commitment compounds over time. What may feel like a small decision today can become the foundation for decades of purpose, success, and fulfillment. But how do you recognize a life-changing decision? It's rarely easy or convenient. It will often provoke fear, hesitation, or even doubt. These are signals not to retreat, but to pay attention. They signal that this decision has the power to transform you. A meaningful decision challenges you to stretch beyond your current capabilities, to let go of the familiar, and to embrace possibility. And when you make that decision consciously, with intention and courage, it alters the trajectory of your life. Remember, you don't have to make all decisions perfectly. Life-changing decisions are not about perfection. They are about alignment with your values, your purpose, and your vision for the life you want to live. When you commit to that one pivotal decision, you send a message to yourself and the world that you are ready to step into growth, responsibility, and meaningful impact. The choice is yours, and your willingness to decide today will echo through every tomorrow. So, I challenge you to reflect on your life. Identify that one decision that could shift your path and take the step. Do not underestimate the power of one conscious choice, because one life-changing decision is all it takes to set the stage for an extraordinary journey. 5 keynotes of the speech, the power of one decision. A single conscious decision can alter the trajectory of your life more than countless small, passive choices. Embrace discomfort for growth. Life-changing decisions often involve fear, uncertainty, or leaving your comfort zone, but that discomfort signals opportunity. Alignment over perfection. Transformational choices are about aligning with values, purpose, and vision, not about making a perfect decision. Compound effect of courage. Every courageous decision builds momentum over time, creating long-term impact beyond immediate results. Action creates transformation. Reflection alone is not enough. Deciding and taking action is what turns potential into reality. The power of one decision is something that is often underestimated. Most people live their lives assuming that change requires a series of monumental steps or constant effort over decades. While consistency and dedication are undeniably important, the truth is that one conscious decision made at the right moment with clarity and commitment can have a transformative effect far beyond what daily routines alone can accomplish. That single decision has the ability to set the trajectory of your entire life in a direction that aligns with your purpose, values, and aspirations. When we pause to reflect on the lives of people who have achieved extraordinary results, what we often find is not a secret formula or a guarantee of success, but one pivotal choice that changed everything. Think about a young person deciding whether to pursue a field of study that excites them versus one that seems safe or expected. That one decision can shape their career path, influence the people they meet, and determine the skills they develop over the next decade. It's not just about picking a profession, it's about choosing an identity, a mindset, and a direction. That choice carries consequences, opportunities, and challenges, all of which compound over time. One decision opens doors to experiences and connections that would otherwise remain closed, and simultaneously closes off paths that no longer serve growth. The gravity of this is profound because it reminds us that life is not only about what we do every day, but also about the deliberate moments when we choose differently from what is comfortable, safe, or habitual. The power of a single decision becomes even more evident when we consider situations of personal transformation. For instance, someone may find themselves in a pattern of behavior that keeps them from reaching their potential, whether it's procrastination, staying in a toxic environment, or avoiding responsibilities. At first, the thought of making a change can feel overwhelming, as if it requires rewriting an entire life story overnight. But in reality, transformation often starts with one conscious choice to act differently in a critical moment. It could be choosing to speak up when staying silent would be easier, to pursue a skill when giving up would feel safe, or to forgive when holding on to resentment seems justified. These decisions are small in execution but monumental in impact because they signal a shift in how we approach life. They create a ripple effect, altering habits, thought patterns, and relationships. Another aspect of the power inherent in one decision is that it creates clarity. When we commit to a decisive action, the next steps often become more apparent. Indecision breeds confusion, hesitation, and inertia, Whereas a deliberate choice cuts through uncertainty, it provides a framework for prioritization and opens a path forward. Consider an individual deciding to start their own business versus staying in a job that provides stability but little fulfillment. That one decision clarifies daily actions, the courses to take, the people to network with, the skills to master, and the risks to manage. By making a choice, the individual aligns their thoughts, energy, and resources in a focused direction, and the momentum that follows can surpass years of vague effort. It's also important to recognize that one life-changing decision often requires courage because it may contradict societal expectations, challenge the familiar, or involve uncertainty. Yet, the decisions that create the most significant impact are rarely the safe or convenient ones. They are choices that demand self-reflection, honesty, and an understanding of what truly matters. They invite us to act with intention, to step into discomfort, and to embrace the unknown. And while the immediate consequences may be unclear, the long-term benefits often outweigh the temporary fear or inconvenience. History and personal stories alike reveal that individuals who have shaped remarkable lives are those who had the courage to make one critical decision, even in the face of doubt or resistance. Finally, the power of one decision lies in its compounding effect over time. Decisions are not isolated events. They influence subsequent choices, habits, and opportunities. One decision to invest in personal growth, for example, leads to new experiences that expand knowledge, confidence, and capability. One decision to pursue a meaningful relationship can create a network of support, inspiration, and collaboration. Even seemingly minor decisions, when made with intention, create a chain reaction that defines the trajectory of a life. The awareness of this power transforms how we approach each moment, reminding us that while life may feel dictated by circumstance, the choices we make carry far more weight than we often realize. Embracing discomfort is one of the most powerful yet overlooked principles for personal and professional growth. Most people naturally seek comfort, stability, and safety, avoiding situations that provoke fear, uncertainty, or challenge. Our instincts are designed to protect us from harm, but they often mislead us when it comes to growth. Real progress, meaningful achievement, and transformation rarely come from staying within the familiar. Growth demands that we step beyond what feels safe and confront the discomfort that signals opportunity. It is precisely in these moments of unease that our potential expands, our skills develop, and our understanding of ourselves deepens. Discomfort manifests in many forms. It could be the fear of failure, the anxiety of public speaking, or the tension of entering a new role or environment. It could be the internal resistance to leaving a job, relationship, or habit that no longer serves our purpose. While discomfort is often perceived as a negative feeling to avoid, it is actually an indicator that we are on the verge of progress. Every time we encounter resistance, our instincts push us to retreat to safety, but if we choose to lean into that discomfort, we create the conditions for profound growth. The discomfort is a signal that we are stretching beyond our current limitations, and this stretching is necessary to become the person we aspire to be. Embracing discomfort also requires a shift in mindset. Many individuals avoid challenges because they equate discomfort with danger or failure. However, discomfort is not inherently harmful. It is a tool for learning. It teaches resilience, patience, and resourcefulness. It forces us to problem solve, adapt, and find new ways of thinking. Consider a person learning a new skill that feels complicated and frustrating. The initial discomfort of fumbling, making mistakes, and feeling inadequate is uncomfortable, yet it is precisely what drives improvement. Each moment of struggle builds the foundation for competence and mastery. By embracing discomfort rather than resisting it, we transform challenges into opportunities, fear into courage, and hesitation into action. Another aspect of embracing discomfort is the way it accelerates self-awareness. When we are confronted with difficult situations or decisions, we gain insight into our beliefs, values, and priorities. Discomfort exposes our weaknesses and blind spots, highlighting areas that need attention. It forces us to ask hard questions. What am I afraid of? What patterns are holding me back? What would it take to act differently? By facing these questions head on, we not only grow in skill, but also in character. Discomfort compels reflection and learning, both of which are essential for meaningful growth. It challenges us to take responsibility for our choices, recognize the areas where we are settling for less, and act intentionally to change. Embracing discomfort is also closely linked to courage. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the willingness to act in spite of fear. Every time we choose the path that feels difficult or unfamiliar, we exercise courage, and each act of courage reinforces the ability to take the next step. Over time, this creates momentum and confidence, allowing us to tackle increasingly complex challenges. Courage grows through repeated practice, and discomfort is the medium through which this growth occurs. Without discomfort, there is little incentive to summon courage, and without courage, there is little chance to achieve meaningful transformation. Finally, the relationship between discomfort and growth demonstrates that progress is rarely linear or comfortable. Success is often accompanied by periods of struggle, uncertainty, and sacrifice. Those who avoid discomfort may achieve temporary comfort, but miss the transformative experiences that shape character, skill, and influence. By contrast, those who lean into discomfort create the conditions for exponential growth. They develop resilience, confidence, and insight that cannot be gained through ease or convenience. Every challenge faced, every risk taken, and every moment of discomfort embrace commons into personal power, capability, and the ability to make meaningful impact in their lives and the lives of others. In life, Many people believe that success and fulfillment come from doing everything perfectly. We are taught to plan meticulously, avoid mistakes, and achieve flawless execution before taking action. While striving for excellence can be valuable, the relentless pursuit of perfection often becomes a barrier rather than a pathway to growth. True transformation comes not from perfection, but from alignment with your values, purpose, and vision for the life you want to lead. Alignment is about making choices that resonate deeply with who you are and what you aspire to become, even when the path is imperfect or uncertain. When you focus on alignment rather than perfection, you shift your perspective from external validation to internal clarity. Instead of asking, "Am I doing this perfectly?" you begin to ask, "Is this action consistent with my values? Does it move me closer to my purpose?" This subtle shift has profound implications. Perfectionism often paralyzes action because the fear of making a mistake outweighs the potential benefits of progress. Alignment, on the other hand, empowers decision-making because it is guided by intention, not fear. It allows you to take decisive steps, knowing that even if the execution is imperfect, you are moving in the right direction. Alignment over perfection also teaches resilience. Life is inherently uncertain and situations rarely unfold exactly as planned. If you wait for the perfect conditions or the flawless moment, you will spend most of your life waiting. By prioritizing alignment, you develop the ability to adapt and adjust while remaining true to your core values. This approach encourages learning from mistakes rather than being immobilized by them. Every setback becomes an opportunity to recalibrate, reflect, and continue moving forward. It allows you to embrace a growth mindset where progress and alignment matter more than flawlessness. Consider the choices of individuals who have made significant impacts in their fields. Rarely were their decisions flawless, yet the consistent factor was alignment. They made decisions that resonated with their purpose. Even when the outcomes were uncertain, they pursued opportunities that matched their vision for their lives, knowing that their actions, though imperfect, were steps in the right direction. This alignment acted as a compass, guiding them through challenges and decisions that could have otherwise derailed their progress. It is a reminder that the pursuit of perfection is never as effective as the pursuit of purposeful alignment. Alignment over perfection also fosters authenticity. When you focus on being perfect, you often mold yourself to fit others' expectations, societal pressures, or an imagined standard of success. This can lead to burnout, frustration, and disconnection from your true self. Alignment, by contrast, requires introspection and honesty. It asks you to understand your strengths, values, and passions, and then act in accordance with them. By making decisions that honor who you truly are, you create a life that feels meaningful and intentional rather than one dictated by external pressures. Authenticity becomes a natural byproduct of alignment, and it enhances both personal satisfaction and the impact you have on others. Another critical aspect of prioritizing alignment is that it encourages decisive action. Waiting for perfection can lead to missed opportunities, stagnation, and regret. Alignment allows you to act decisively, knowing that your choices are grounded in purpose. Even if mistakes occur, they are not failures. They are learning experiences that refine your understanding and strengthen your path. Alignment provides the framework to navigate uncertainty with confidence, because you are guided by principles that are larger than any single decision or outcome. It shifts the focus from fear of imperfection to commitment to meaning, from hesitation to purposeful action. Finally, choosing alignment over perfection is a practice that compounds over time. Every decision made in alignment with your values reinforces clarity, focus, and intentionality. It creates momentum, making subsequent choices easier and more consistent. As your life becomes increasingly aligned with your vision, your impact grows, your resilience strengthens, and your confidence deepens. Alignment transforms challenges into opportunities, mistakes into lessons, and uncertainty into a purposeful journey. It allows you to navigate life with both intention and flexibility, understanding that perfection is unattainable, but alignment is achievable and transformative. Courage is one of the most underrated forces in shaping a meaningful and successful life. Many people believe that courage is about performing grand, heroic acts or taking extreme risks, but in reality, courage is often quiet, subtle, and cumulative. It is the repeated willingness to take action despite fear, doubt, or uncertainty. The compound effect of courage lies in the way small, brave decisions accumulate over time to create extraordinary transformation. One courageous step may seem insignificant in isolation, but when repeated consistently, it has the power to redefine your life, your relationships, and your impact on the world. The nature of courage is such that it grows through practice. Every time we confront discomfort, challenge, or fear, we strengthen our ability to act decisively the next time a difficult situation arises. Courage is not static, it is dynamic, and it expands with each choice made in alignment with purpose. Consider someone deciding to speak up in a meeting, share their creative ideas, or advocate for what they believe is right. At first, the act may feel intimidating or risky, but each successful attempt builds confidence, resilience, and clarity. Over time, these small, courageous decisions compound, enabling the person to tackle increasingly significant challenges that once seemed impossible. The effects ripple through their career, relationships, and personal growth. The compound effect of courage is also closely tied to momentum. Courageous actions tend to generate opportunities, feedback, and results that reinforce the willingness to act again. When we step forward despite fear, we signal to ourselves and to others that we are capable, committed, and trustworthy. These actions create a positive feedback loop. Courage leads to small successes, which in turn cultivate more confidence, which enables more courageous action. It is a cycle that builds upon itself, eventually allowing individuals to confront situations that once seemed insurmountable. By consistently exercising courage, people often achieve far greater outcomes than those who rely solely on skill, talent, or comfort. Courage also has a compounding effect on resilience. Life inevitably presents challenges, setbacks, and failures. Individuals who practice courageous decision-making develop the capacity to face adversity with composure and resourcefulness. Each time courage is exercised, it strengthens mental and emotional resilience. A person who consistently chooses to act, even when uncertain, learns to navigate obstacles rather than be overwhelmed by them. Over time, this resilience becomes a defining characteristic, allowing the individual to maintain forward momentum and pursue meaningful goals despite the inevitable difficulties life presents. Courage does not eliminate fear or risk, but it enables mastery over them, turning potential obstacles into stepping stones for growth. Another dimension of courage's compound effect is its influence on personal identity and character. Every courageous decision reinforces self-trust, integrity, and alignment with one's values. People who regularly act courageously cultivate a sense of purpose and confidence that permeates their lives. They are more willing to take calculated risks, embrace change, and step into leadership roles. Courage becomes embedded in their habits, thought patterns, and behavior, shaping not just individual moments, but the trajectory of their life. Each courageous act contributes to the formation of a resilient, empowered, and capable identity that can navigate complex challenges with clarity and confidence. Courage also amplifies the impact we have on others. When individuals act bravely, they inspire and empower those around them. The compound effect of courage is not only internal, it extends outward, influencing colleagues, family, friends, and communities. Small acts of courage can create a ripple effect, encouraging others to step forward, challenge limitations, and take bold actions in their own lives. In this way, courage multiplies, not only transforming the individual, but also the broader environment and society in which they operate. The legacy of courage is cumulative, leaving lasting effects that far exceed the initial action. Finally, the compound effect of courage demonstrates that transformation is rarely instantaneous. Significant achievements, personal growth, and meaningful influence emerge from repeated acts of bravery over time. Each decision to act in spite of fear strengthens capacity, builds momentum, and shapes character. Individuals who embrace courage consistently find that challenges become opportunities, setbacks become lessons, and fear becomes a signal to act rather than a reason to retreat. The small, brave decisions of today compound into the extraordinary results of tomorrow, proving that courage, when exercised consistently, has the power to reshape life in profound and lasting ways. Action is the bridge between intention and transformation. Many people have ideas, dreams, and plans, yet they never fully realize them because they stop short of taking decisive steps. Thinking, planning, and reflecting are important, but they remain incomplete without action. Transformation does not occur in thought alone. It requires moving from intention to execution, from hesitation to momentum. Every meaningful change in life begins with action, no matter how small it may seem. The moment you choose to act, you shift the trajectory of your life, creating opportunities for growth, learning, and achievement that would otherwise remain out of reach. Action is powerful because it creates feedback. When you act, you encounter reality in a way that theory and planning cannot replicate. Each step reveals new information, uncovers obstacles, and highlights possibilities. Without action, uncertainty remains abstract and challenges remain hypothetical. By taking steps toward your goals, you gain clarity about what works, what needs adjustment, and what opportunities exist. Even small actions, when executed consistently, provide insight that compounds over time, guiding better decisions, fostering improvement, and building confidence. Action transforms vague intentions into tangible progress and measurable results. One of the key aspects of action is that it disrupts inertia. Human nature often gravitates toward comfort, routine, and predictability. We hesitate, wait for the perfect moment, or overanalyze potential risks. Yet every moment spent in indecision prolongs stagnation and limits growth. Action, no matter how imperfect, breaks that inertia and initiates movement. Even when the first steps are small, they create momentum. Once movement begins, it is easier to continue, and progress tends to accelerate as energy, focus, and resources align with purposeful effort. Action is the catalyst that converts potential into reality, turning ideas into achievements and aspirations into lived experience. Action also fosters resilience and adaptability. Life is unpredictable, and no plan unfolds perfectly. By acting, you place yourself in situations that test your skills, patience, and resourcefulness. You encounter challenges that require adjustments, problem solving, and flexibility. These experiences cultivate resilience because they demonstrate that obstacles are not insurmountable, but rather opportunities to learn and grow. Each act of engagement strengthens your ability to navigate uncertainty and equips you with the tools to tackle increasingly complex challenges. Over time, consistent action builds the confidence to face the unknown and the courage to pursue opportunities others might avoid. Furthermore, action is the primary driver of personal growth. Knowledge and intention are passive. They remain theoretical until applied. Transformation occurs when you implement take risks and experiment in real-life situations. Each action teaches lessons that cannot be gleaned from observation alone. Mistakes and setbacks become valuable experiences, providing insight that refines skills, sharpens judgment, and deepens understanding. Action accelerates learning, enhances capability, and fosters the kind of experiential wisdom that is essential for meaningful achievement. In essence, transformation is inseparable from engagement. Without action, growth remains stalled and potential unfulfilled. Another critical element of action is its ability to influence and inspire others. When you act decisively, you not only change your own life, but also set an example for those around you. Your commitment and courage demonstrate what is possible, encouraging others to take steps in their own lives. Action becomes contagious, creating ripple effects that extend beyond the individual to families, teams, communities, and organizations. By choosing to act, you contribute to a culture of momentum, accountability, and progress, amplifying the impact of your efforts far beyond your personal sphere. Finally, action is transformative because it aligns intention with reality. Dreams, goals, and aspirations remain abstract until acted upon. By moving forward, you validate your intentions and convert them into measurable outcomes. Every deliberate step taken toward growth or purpose reinforces your commitment, strengthens your habits, and builds credibility with yourself and others. Action transforms abstract possibilities into tangible achievements, shaping both your identity and the trajectory of your life. It is through consistent, purposeful action that the promise of potential is realized, proving that transformation is not a product of circumstance or luck, but of deliberate, sustained effort. In the end, the choices we make define the life we live. One decision taken with clarity and courage has the power to set everything in motion. Embracing discomfort, prioritizing alignment over perfection, exercising courage consistently, and taking deliberate action are not just strategies. They are principles that transform potential into reality. Every step, every decision, every moment of commitment compounds over time, creating a life of purpose, growth, and meaningful impact. The path may be uncertain, the challenge is real, and the fear present, but the willingness to act, to decide, and to move forward is what turns ordinary moments into extraordinary outcomes. Remember, it is not luck, resources, or talent alone that shapes a remarkable life. It is the conscious choice to act and the courage to continue, even when the path is difficult. One life-changing decision is all it takes to begin a journey of transformation, and every choice afterward only amplifies its effect. Your life is waiting for that decision. Choose wisely, act boldly, and watch the difference it can make.